A huge problem when we deliver shipping containers is we wreck landscaping and concrete. We've developed these container shoes right here. These things are a prototype and we're about to try them out right now to see how they slap into the corner castings of these shipping containers and if they're going to protect the concrete inside of our shop. Stay tuned. Hope you learned something. Our shop here is less than a year old and we already have some serious wear and tear on our concrete. And that's because these corner castings here, they're made out of steel and steel is harder than concrete. And so when the leading edge of the castings of the containers hit this, obviously concrete loses the battle. And so something we do have already is casters here. These are casters for the corner castings of containers, but the way that we got to load them into our shop and stuff, it's not the best to try to get them on there. And we've also have a set of casualties here already. So they're not ideal and they're not definitely ideal when it comes to actually trying to deliver a shipping container to a customer, especially on a rental. We rent a lot of containers and we do have a folder pretty thick of driveways that we broke over the years. And that sucks, that gets expensive, or just customers get upset even if they get the smallest of scratches. So one thing we're trying to do is come up with a product that is weaker than concrete or steel. So it is sacrificial. We want the container shoe to break first. And that is just gonna leave maybe a little white scuff. But we don't know if our hypothesis is true, and that's what we're gonna do in this video. So William, let's fire up the forklift and smack these bad boys in there. So right here you can see, now that we've lifted the container up, the aggregate, the damage to the aggregate, which isn't much damage when it is aggregate, but if that was concrete and that casting was sliding, there would be a mark. And that's what we're trying to do to protect everyone's driveways that get shipping containers. This is a product that potentially is going to be more of a product for my competitors, anyone with a rental fleet. If you already own a container, maybe the container pads are actually the better option for you. But here we'll want to clean out these corner castings, get all the dirt out of there. We're gonna try to give her a smack for the very first time. This thing was clean. Here, Will, hammer toss. So, watch my fingers. What are the odds? Failure. Try it again. That's what these tests are for. This ain't good. Where's the engineer? How do you hold it? Just friend and trust buddy?
I don't really trust you that much.
Trust me?
Yeah.
Nope. Line her up again. I'm gonna give her a good one. Got her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one side.
So our previous tests were a 3D printed part, and the filament with that is pretty soft and these things slid in like butter. But now that we've used this UMHW plastic, she's solid, which is good. That means they're gonna stay in there once we get it in there. New tactic. Fuck off. We had to just cut the slightest bit of material off here. So the 3D printed version worked mint. This stuff's super hard and it needed just, what was that, like a 32nd of an inch taken off. So I think it's gonna go now. Money, that's in there very well. I think the next step here now is we got to twist this inner piece and then just grab the ratchet or socket or destructive testing. Strong plastic, that's for sure. Woo-wee. So we struggled getting that on, but I had fun taking revenge on it with the sledgehammer, and the plastics sure seemed to pass the test. So I think we selected the right material, but this is actually just our very first revision of it. And so we're just trying out the very first ones, and what I did have to do there and what I'm gonna do again is shave off just a little bit of this because this plastic is harder. Here, I think for visual representation, I'm gonna smack this one down in there and hopefully it comes out. Sweet. So that's what it looks like right there. There is a front and a back to them, and that's what hugs this casting so well. But there's not a left and a right, so that's why it doesn't quite come to the outside of the casting, is that it's centered, and this one container shoe works on all castings. So that there, you can see it's still kind of loose, and that's probably because I stripped maybe a little bit too much of the plastic away. But once I get the inner piece and it bolted down, it should be in there nice and solid. Let's do the other 3 corners of the shipping container, and let's get this thing drug into the shop, test it out, and see if we scratch our concrete. I'm just gonna cradle this into the shop so we try not to get a whole bunch of rocks under there, and that'll just sway our results, because we want to try sliding it back and forth and seeing if it leaves white marks in the concrete, if it still gouges it, or if it's mint. Okay, that's good there. Get them to stop. Yeah, nice white lines. White is good. White is plastic. It's just so quiet. You see all the little dirt building up in front of it, but not getting under it. That's mint. That's insane. That was actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if you can even see the new marks, but we skid this sideways here, and you can see our new marks came across our old marks. So this would have been straight steel casting against the concrete. And you can see right where it rode over this control line here, it actually cracked the concrete. And so now with us, we crossed this control line right here and slid over it like butter. I didn't really picture these being the product that we would utilize to move containers around our shop, but we really don't like the casters because here we have floor drains. And so our whole shop, it is sloped into these drains here, and it sucks with the casters because the containers always want to just migrate towards, you know, the lowest point in this concrete. And so this here now, at least it's not touching there at all because you can see the slope here. But now we'll just be able to get a jack under there quick, level this container out as best we can, and then start modifying. So it actually makes a pretty decent combo is using these to slide the containers in, and then we have the container modification rolled container pads. These are basically outrigger pads for cranes, and this will be able to slide in underneath here and be that shim to get it nice and level on our slope floor near these floor grates here. So there you have it. These things do work. We're excited to make some changes and get these things finalized and available for sale. We have our container pads all ready for sale, and we're curious, what should we call these things? Are they container hoops or container shoes? Please leave your vote in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please help us out and give the video a like. If you want to see more cool container mod videos, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell for notifications. And as always, check us out at tcg.ca. Hope you learned something.